Still no buzzer beaters or overtimes or exciting finishes in this NCAA tournament. Arguably, this could be considered one of the worst tournaments in NCAA history. You may even find more entertainment in the women's tournament. That's how sad this tournament has been so far. However, I've had a couple of the big upsets. I had Wisconsin beating Villanova. I even said Wisconsin beat the 6-point spread and win straight up. So that was the big win of the day. I also had Xavier beating the 5.5-point spread. I had Purdue at -1. And they covered that. Although, admit, I was kind of nervous throughout the last couple minutes. It seemed like Iowa State was going to come back in that one. I also had Arizona at -5.5. That really made me nervous a bit because Arizona seemed down early. They seemed to struggle. They were getting outplayed in the first half. Bunch of mismatches out there. The picks I regret making, I regret doing Virginia at +2 and the Notre Dame +2.5. I honestly felt like the upperclassmen leadership of Notre Dame, the experience that they had, it was going to help them overcome that 2.5-point spread deficit. And with Virginia, I just thought the defense, kind of like how it worked against UNC Wilmington, that led the comeback. It ignited the defense to make stops late in the game. Middle Tennessee State at the +4 versus Butler. That was just kind of what I thought would happen based off what I had in my bracket. But my second chance bracket will be out sometime next week, so it should be fun. So I got 50%, but that's still a failing grade in the metric system. So I'm going to try to step it up with these Sunday games. I got some big ones for the Sunday game, so please stay tuned. We're going to start off with the Michigan versus Louisville game. Louisville's coming in as a 3-point favorite. Some could say Louisville could make a shot at the Final Four, but here's what people aren't getting. Michigan is more deep than Louisville is. Michigan plays selfless ball. It's selfless basketball throughout the Big Ten teams. I mean, Purdue, they played really selflessly against Iowa State. Northwestern kind of played a little bit selflessly. Wisconsin played selflessly against Virginia Tech and Villanova. It's just the Big Ten in March Madness. That's why the Big Ten teams go so far. Because there's no star player on the team. It's the whole team in general. So I'm picking Michigan to beat the 3-point spread. I just feel like that this leadership on Michigan, especially with the way they shoot the 3-point ball, I feel like Michigan's going to win this game straight up. I think it's going to be about a 4 to 6-point victory for Michigan. And Michigan will be the third Big Ten team in the Sweet 16. Wichita State versus Kentucky. Kentucky's coming in a 4.5-point favorite. However, they looked a little bit sluggish in the second half against Northern Kentucky. And some think that Wichita State probably can beat Kentucky, which sure they can. But here's what you're not getting about this as well. Sometimes maybe they felt a little bit relaxed. Maybe they wanted to kind of rest up for the next game. And plus, after Calipari addresses it to the team about how they need to finish, I think it's going to really, I think they're really going to get the message. I think Kentucky's going to beat this 4.5-point spread. I mean, you have so many star players on Kentucky. You've got Malik Monk. You've got Ben Abayu, Isaiah Briscoe, Derek Willis. You've got all this star talent on Kentucky. And Wichita State doesn't have the talent they had 3 years ago when they made the Final Four run. So Kentucky will cover the 4.5-point spread. Michigan State versus Kansas. Kansas comes as an 8-point favorite. However, if the Spartans want to pull off the upset, they cannot afford to go down early on in the game. They've got to stay in the game from start to finish. You've got to get Josh Jackson and Frank Mason in foul trouble early on in the game. Kind of like what Wichita State did to Kansas a couple of years ago in the round of 32. They got their star players in foul trouble early on in the game. So if Michigan State does that, they can not only beat the spread, they can win straight up. But I feel like the star talent on Kansas is going to rise to the occasion in the second half, and I think Kansas will cover this 8-point spread. I'm going to say they're going to cover so much that I think if the spread was about 11-13, they would still be able to cover it. So I think Kansas probably went by about 14 points. However, it won't surprise you if Michigan State actually beats the spread or wins straight up, because Kansas tends to let the pressure get to them in about the round of 32 or in the Sweet 16. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Michigan State won this game straight up. Rhode Island versus Oregon. Rhode Island is clearly the Cinderella story this season. They kind of barely got in the tournament. They had to win all these games to make it to the tournament, and they already have an upset under the belt against Creighton. However, Oregon is a bigger animal than Rhode Island is. Even though Oregon doesn't have their forward Chris Boucher for this tournament, you still have Dylan Brooks, who's arguably the best player in the Pac-12. And yes, I'm saying this even though UCLA has Lonzo Ball. So I think Oregon will beat this 5.5 point spread. I just feel like that Rhode Island is going to do what they can't do, and Oregon's going to force this game to be a track meet. And Oregon has the edge on that. They're much faster than Rhode Island is. They're a better shooting team than Rhode Island. I think Oregon will actually win this game by double digits, probably about 12-13. USC versus Baylor. Baylor has finally overcome their first round demon in the tournament. They finally pulled off a first round win, but now New Mexico State is a different animal USC is a different animal than New Mexico State. I mean, USC, the comeback kids. Just when you think you have these guys out, they start to come all the way back. And I think USC is going to beat this 6.5 point spread. They may be the underdog, but I think they feast off being the underdog. They embrace it. And that's what championship teams do. They embrace being the underdog. So I think USC beats the 6.5 point spread. However, if they want to win straight up, they can't afford to go down by 15 or 17 early on in the game. Because if you're down by 15 or 17 to a team like Baylor, I think you're out of luck. Cincinnati versus UCLA. UCLA comes in as a 4-point favorite. And I feel like they're going to cover this 4-point spread. I just think it's based off that talent that UCLA has. Arkansas versus North Carolina. Many think North Carolina is just going to steamroll right through this game as a 10.5 point favorite. But what you're not seeing is Arkansas has some players that can provide mismatches. And they can't allow their big men to get in foul trouble early. But I think Arkansas covers this 10.5 point spread, because I think they'll be in this game from start to finish. This is kind of a little bit of a risk. If I was going to be betting on this myself, I would put Arkansas beating the 10.5 point spread. But I feel like that'd be kind of a dangerous one, because you never know what to expect out of Arkansas. I mean, just a week ago, they got crushed by Kentucky in the SEC Tournament Championship game. So we'll see what happens. I just feel like that Arkansas is going to hang in there from start to finish. I think they're going to hang on to beat the spread. Final one, South Carolina versus Duke. This is an interesting one as well, because South Carolina theoretically has a home court advantage. There'll be a lot of South Carolina fans there. But there will be a significant amount of Duke fans there as well. And plus, there's so many weapons that Duke can utilize. And plus, Duke is one of the hottest teams in college basketball. And they were the hottest team, arguably the hottest team, coming into this tournament. And I feel like Duke is going to cover the 7.5 point spread. I just feel like the talent alone of Duke, like the talent of Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, Emile Jefferson, Jason Tatum. I think they're just going to steamroll back through South Carolina. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up winning by 20 plus. So those are your picks, or those are my picks. For those who aren't keeping score at home, I have Michigan beating the 3-point spread, Kentucky covering the 4.5, Kansas covering the 8, Oregon covering the 5.5, USC beating the 6.5, UCLA covering the 4, Arkansas beating the 10.5, and Duke covering the 7.5. Anyway, follow me on Twitter at JB Talk Sports. Like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends, family. Anyway, that is going to do it. I will see you next time.